Was that you with a dog?
Doesn't matter. Welcome to Great Talk with Adam and Riley. I'm Riley.
I'm Adam.
Today we have a special guest. He's our senior redneck correspondent. Say hello, Shotgun.
Hello.
We call him Shotgun Rago. This is Adam. Introduce him for us.
What?
Introduce him. How do you know Mr. Rago?
Basically, my relationship with Rago started probably when we were in first or second grade.
Third grade.
Third grade?
That's when I started coming to the church.
Okay, so third grade.
Yeah.
And then probably by about middle school to seventh grade.
High school.
Yeah, I realized he existed. But before that, we were always together. So we just started, I don't know, I guess I realized you were cool when we were in Atlanta. I feel like it's the first time.
It was something like that. I mean, I was always looking at you like, why doesn't this guy want to talk to me? And then suddenly I was cool. I don't really know how that
We don't want this to take a depressing turn here, guys.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So basically, Shotgun Rago was Adam's best man at his wedding.
Yeah.
He chose him over me.
Yeah.
And
were you there?
No, I wasn't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why weren't you there?
I was. I don't remember. I wasn't invited or something.
He literally invited people he didn't like and didn't invite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so everyone who went to his wedding just know half of them he didn't even like you.
That's always the case, though. That's not just Adam's wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, before we get into the wedding talk, because I want to get back on that, I want to talk about the recent redneck story we had last week where I didn't buy boots when I had the chance to buy boots for work. How do you feel about that as our senior redneck correspondent?
Well, I think it goes without saying that if you have the option to wear boots at work and you just say no for any reason, you're down redneck points from the get-go.
So what we're really asking is how many redneck units did he lose?
Right. Well, Riley, how many? I guess we should start off by seeing how your day went. I kind of go on a plus or minus from the get-go of the day.
Okay.
In your morning, at any point did you consume sweet tea, or where were you at?
Black coffee.
Where were you at on what you've eaten at that point?
At that day, I had a fried chicken sandwich and no sweet tea. I actually believe I had a water. And I actually took out the recycling, so I did recycle that day as well.
Well, let's just stop you right there. And you see, it's important. We live in America, and we don't have a problem with building up big old piles of trash because it's some of our people that operate the landfills, and I don't mean that in a negative demographic way in any way. But we take pride. Yeah, we take pride in our waste management jobs, and so let's just go ahead and say that you're definitely in the negative there on units of redneck.
Yes.
Just from the get go. From the day, I mean, with the recycling bin, but then not doing the boots, I mean, you're already eating it the next day, I think, at this point.
Ooh.
Well, how many negative days do you get a year?
Well, it only works for the next day. Essentially, they carry over. Otherwise, there's some people who would never catch up. So we just offer a forgiveness system.
So it's like rollover minutes for cell phones? That's how you do your redneck units?
Correct, but only roll over to the next day. Or else people could never dig them out of the holes, so they're in. And
so,
plus, some people can
because
go
they probably couldn't even dig the hole?
Correct, because they're that commie.
They're that much of a communist.
So what exactly is the formula for redneck units?
Well, you see, what I like to do is the way I look at it.
Does it need a calculator?
I mean,
or just a
don't
knife
really
and
use
a piece of
calculators.
wood?
We mostly just or sand with a finger.
Okay,
Yeah,
I like it.
Or dust off a truck. I mean, we don't really use calculators often. Essentially, what you're looking at here is the amount of time you thought about something. Multiply that by how much you cared about the outcome, and go ahead and right away divide that by how much sweet tea you consumed.
Okay.
And then you're looking at a rough estimate for
in liters or cups of sweet tea?
We operate in liters. I mean, if
Okay.
you're at even less than a liter, then there's not even a point in counting the sweet tea.
Okay, I understand.
Right, and then what you end up with there is a formula for how to calculate redneck units.
Okay,
Right.
I like that. And do we have an abbreviation for redneck units? Like miles, we put MI, or pounds, we put LBS. What do you put for redneck units?
Gun.
Just gun. Okay.
GUN.
GUN. Okay.
I'll take it.
I'll take it. All right. So that's all I had for. Do you have a redneck story? What's your best redneck story? Have you ever stabbed a fish with a spear?
You know, it's funny you say that. Me and this guy sitting right across here, Adam, we stabbed a fish with a spear just the other day. And what shocked us both, I think, and I think Adam's going to agree with me here, is honestly how easy it was.
It was easy but we had a baiting system. I think without the baiting system, it might be more complicated. We have carp outside in the lake, and you can't bait them with anything. So it's gonna take probably a lot of crawling to the edge of the bank, and then probably getting in a kneeling position and chucking a spear a good 20 feet, as opposed to 5 feet in a baiting system.
And how many units are we talking for a speared fish?
From 20 feet away?
Oh, a speared fish 20 feet. Oh, yeah. We operate on distance as well. I didn't include that. That's a more complex formula. But especially, I mean, if you didn't think about it, if it was just a recommendation, you jumped on that deal, you don't care if you get caught, you're drinking sweet tea when you do it, I'm thinking 3 redneck units from the get-go.
3 from the get-go.
From the get-go. And then that
And
just
then you
multiplies
you
per
can
fish.
add on to that, yeah. Now,
I've gotten like 2.
is it less redneck to put sweet tea in a camel pack so that you can consume sweet tea all the time? Or do you need a mason jar or a red solo cup?
You know, I really like to see people holding their sweet tea. I'm not a straw guy. I really believe that. You know, honestly, I don't like the camel packs. Now, if you're doing something where you have to use both hands, you know, you're putting up an American flag or whatever that is. I mean, some instances, and you sacrifice the convenience of not even drinking sweet tea to have a camel pack. That's okay, but I'm not going to add or subtract redneck points for that. That's just going to keep you neutral. Holding sweet tea at inconvenient moments, though, is additional redneck points when it's entirely inconvenient.
What if you're falling down and you don't spill the sweet tea?
If you ever offer your body to save sweet tea in the sense that you're falling and you keep your arm held up instead of saving yourself,
Are you held up for like a week on your redneck units?
like I said, only a day it carries over.
Okay. Sorry about
But
that.
you're definitely at the maximum for the day.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so let's go right back into that wedding talk where do you rate? Well, we only have one married person here, but did you rate your groomsmen? Like, you know, you got the best man who's the number one, but the 3 others, do you rate them at all?
I don't actually rate them. I would say you rate just the best man as the best man, and then the other ones are just they're just groomsmen. You don't say,
Yeah.
oh, you're groomsman number 1, 2, and 3. And really, there's an order you put them in, but I think it just comes down to who walks down better with who else and how it matches up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it matters the order that the groomsmen are in. Just the best man.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that, but I'm just saying if I got married and when you weren't invited, you would be the last on my list
Oh, the last on the list to be invited, or last on the list for groomsmen?
for groomsmen.
It's hard to be a groomsman and not be invited to a wedding, but I mean, I'm sure we
That's
could make
what
it
I
work.
went through.
Yeah.
Yeah, how did that feel to rent that tux and still not be able to come?
I just sat in Dairy Queen in a tuxedo, and they were like, "What happened?" And I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And then they offered me like free ice cream, and then I kind of lost it and poured it on my head, and then I took a sandwich and threw it at the people. It was a bad day, but
I got you.
yeah, I don't know, but how do you deal with having too many people in your wedding?
What do you mean?
Like, okay, I got 3 siblings, but 2 of them are girls. So when I get married, I'm not going to force my soon-to-be wife to have my little sisters as her maids.
I'll have
What
it.
are they called?
There's maid of honor, and then there's bridesmaids, yes.
Bridesmaids. Okay, I got you.
Not necessarily, I wouldn't call it just a maid.
I was thinking about that. I was like, are they called maids? I don't even know.
Well,
Like,
someone's
hey,
got to
put on
clean
my
the room
feet.
when you guys are done getting ready.
That's
so.
what I'm saying. And when you're done after the wedding.
Okay, I'll put it like this. I had one of my 6 siblings in my wedding. And so, if you're saying... It's not rating them, and it's not too many. Yeah, if I wanted to have all my siblings there, it would be just too many, period.
That was just so we wouldn't lose our snake player.
Yeah, if we really didn't want to lose Snake 1, that would be bad. So...
But to be honest with you, I don't know what snake is. How many units of redneck did I just lose?
0.
0? What is that?
Unless we were to enter a paintball tournament in full camouflage, then
I think that it would all just depend on how your first paintball interaction went down. But essentially, not knowing anything about paintball at all, you're definitely negative a unit. And I'm being kind.
Well, I did go paintballing this weekend.
Well, that's the other thing
by
too.
that,
You
you
went
watching.
and you didn't play.
Yeah.
And
Well, no, you got to spectate first.
No,
you just jump
sir.
in. See, there you go. Now you're thinking about something
Okay,
for a long time.
let's put it
and
this
you
way.
do care about the
I
outcome.
have 0
negative
money.
points.
I have 0 money to play paintball, but I had an itch and I had to play 2 rounds. And it wasn't just that I had to play. I had to get shot
In the first
as well
round,
as shoot somebody.
In the first round, how many times did you get shot?
6.
And it was like a 1 life thing, right?
Yes, 1 life.
Okay. And how many times did you get shoot by the opposing team?
4.
4. So the other 2 by yourself?
Yes, these really kind ladies behind me that didn't know how to shoot a paintball gun. Yes.
Bridesmaids.
Right? Oh, maids. Yeah, well, even getting shot in the back. I mean, getting shot is like part of paintball, and part of paintball is the fact that it hurts. If it didn't hurt, it wouldn't be as fun as it is now.
See, I'm not a getting hurt kind of guy. Like, I've been shot with an airsoft gun before.
I feel like I would rather get hurt doing something awesome than do something awesome and not get hurt.
No, I'd rather do something awesome and not get hurt.
Nah.
Remember what I said about rollover and not taking more than we're just gonna cancel that rule. I think we're gonna let you roll over for weeks at a time.
Oh, you're losing a lot of redneck units.
Because once again, you're thinking too much about it and the outcome of it, and that's just.
I mean, aren't you also in a room with a lot of electronics? So isn't that losing redneck points?
I kept a buck knife on my belt when I came in here. It's kind of like a shield.
He did.
Oh, okay. I understand. Okay, I'm sorry for calling you out on that, but.
Okay, so what were you getting at with the bridesmaids?
Oh, well, I'm just saying, do you feel like your wedding is the last time you're going to actually be able to hang out with your good friends? In a way where you get to keep... Because they all know once you get married, you're not going to be as close as you once were.
No, I completely agree with that. But then you got people like my other best friend, his name's Robert Rago. Some people call him Shotgun. Some people call him Senior Redneck Correspondent, who take it upon themselves to make sure that you're not friends with them anymore. Uh-huh. So instead of us just being normal friends and maybe not hanging out as much, he just went straight for, dude, you're married, you can't hang out. Even when I definitely can hang out.
I mean...
What do you have to say about that, Senior Redneck Correspondent?
Senior?
I've got no comment. I think it speaks for itself.
I think a real redneck there would say I plead the fifth.
What's the fifth?
I don't know right. I just know the second one. Whatever that one is. I think it has to do with bears or something. Yeah,
you can shoot bears in the wild.
But directed back to your question, it does. It obviously being married cuts into your friendship time, but it's just really I think a lot of it comes down to what your friends are going to willing to sacrifice. For instance, you third wheel and such like that. Like if you want to come over and watch a movie with me, my wife's generally going to be here, and that's not a problem unless she doesn't want anybody here, or I don't want anybody here for obvious reasons.
What are those reasons?
Sex.
We can't.
We can't talk about sex?
I mean,
I'm married.
Look into it.
Sex.
We're like middle schoolers laughing at the word sex.
Yeah, right? Okay. Sorry, intercourse.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that we operate on a different kind of bro code around here, which is that there is a bro code where if fishing or something is planned, you must go, and you can't just ditch for a girl. But if there are no plans made and there's a girl involved, it's just an obvious. I mean, really, you're losing redneck points right there. If you're choosing men over women, I mean, I don't want to get into all that right now, but that's controversial. But let's leave it at that.
I understand what you're saying. If you have had plans, it shouldn't matter what situation it is, unless obviously health is on the line.
Right, or there's intercourse.
Yeah.
In the mix, and that kind of changes things.
It changes actually everything.
Yeah, but if your single friends can't understand that, you might need to get new single friends.
I completely understand. It's the same with girlfriend as wife. If you have plans with a girlfriend and somebody's like, hey, I got a hold of a boat and we're going fishing, then you're still going to spend time with your wife or your girlfriend. But if...
Well, are they hitting top water or...
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that's another. You got to factor that in. We have another. We have a lot of ratios we'll go over, but that's too much time for this. What we're after here.
I completely agree with that.
So what else you got to talk about, Riley?
Next thing I got written down is bee sting baking soda. Well, we're not going to get into that story.
Okay. What is the craziest story about you getting stung by a bee?
I've never been stung by a bee.
That is a sad life. What about you, Rago?
Yeah, multiple times.
Yeah.
Really?
You got any good stories?
Well, all I can say is that multiple times at work, in the woods, looking for animals. I mean, honestly, I kind of want to switch sides of the table here. No, I mean, this guy hasn't even been stung by a bee. I don't know that we can keep... But, I mean, I'll keep doing it for this one. We'll see about next time.
Yeah, maybe we can get him stung by a bee. That'll be fun.
What if I'm allergic and
Ebola
I die
challenge
on the spot? The Ebola challenge is getting stung by a bee. You
Yes.
heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. I have a crazy story about getting stung by a bee. Or like, I don't know, I think like 14 of them. One time I was climbing a tree and the vine broke and I landed on my back.
Yes.
like probably it was like 5 feet. It wasn't bad. Landed in some mulch. Well, I got up and all of a sudden I started getting stung by bees, and I was like, "What's going on?" Well, we looked down and literally like a movie, there was hundreds of bees flying out of a hole in the ground that I had just fallen on top of. Well, I took off one way. Me and my little brother went the same way. We ran and jumped on the trampoline, and it had a net around it. And I swear on my life, we jumped on the trampoline, and as we did that, we jumped over the net, and bees literally flew into the net, like got stuck in the net. They were coming for us. And I had my buddy Weston was there, and he ran all the way home, which is like more than a mile, or probably just over a half a mile. And then Travis, my brother, he ran all the way down the street, and he got stung like a couple times. And then all the way down the street, they were chasing him. And so, of course, the next step was we brought out a camera, and I ran out there in my boxers and no shirt and threw a cinder block on the hole and got stung a bunch more times. Which is obvious, but that's what happened.
That's the only thing you could do in that situation.
Yeah, and then I had somebody come over that worked with bees. We knew somebody down the street, and he said that there was like close to like 12,000 bees underground, and it traveled the whole. He like took out a little listening device and followed the tunnel of bees, and it went from one side of our yard all the way to the other one.
How else would you say device? What is the other?
How would you say device?
No, I just like the word device. It makes me funny.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was making sure.
We're going in on Riley this time, huh?
I mean, that wasn't the plan when we sat down here, but you know,
How have you avoided being stung by a bee?
Careful life choices.
Really?
Like not being friends with you guys until I was at least 19 years old.
I got you.
Well, you said you were a new redneck.
The first time,
I was a recent redneck.
Right.
the first time I was at church camp, I got stung by a bee because it landed on my arm, and I picked it up, and it just stung me. I don't know why. I mean, it wasn't like gonna sting me when it landed on me. I just picked it up and got stung while I was sitting in line at the cafeteria.
Nope. I can't do bees.
I think bees can sense Americans, and then really the goal here is to harden you, to make you more of an American. And this bee is probably stinging you, and it's really just part of growing you as an American to be stung. That's why Riley is so calmy right now. No bee stings kind of make you a soft redneck.
I got stung by a bee while riding a 4-wheeler through a cornfield.
I've never
Wow.
I've never driven a 4-wheeler. And I think on that note, we're going to end the podcast.
No. We're going to continue on here. Basically, we're now judging if you are even an American.
I mean, my dog is from China.
You should shoot that when you leave here.
If you touch my dog, I'll kill you with a buck knife.
I said you should
a
shoot
rusty
it.
one.
You should shoot it. Do you
Okay.
own a rusty buck knife? Because that could help right
do.
now. That helps.
That helped a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, your
I
dog's
stole
from
from
China.
another redneck, though. Turfed it.
We'll talk after.
Okay. Do you own any American flag shirts?
Yes. The Old Navy ones that say the year.
I'm gonna count that.
Yeah.
I own
Is it-
I own 2 American flag socks.
Yeah.
That's
so
pretty
one
good.
pair.
How many sleeveless shirts do you have?
3.
That's good.
4, but the other one doesn't fit.
Well, okay. We know what kind of car you drive.
It's a Chevy.
Are we just gonna skip that option?
What's the biggest fish that you've ever caught?
I caught a 22-foot pike once.
No, sir. What's the biggest fish that you ever caught?
No. It was a Michigan pike, so it was like 22 inches, yeah.
22-inch Michigan pike? The correct answer to that one would be bigger than you've ever caught.
Yeah.
I caught a bass once.
How big was it?
You should never use caught a bass once in the same bass and once in the same sentence.
How many bass you caught?
Way more than you.
Yes, sir.
I can't count.
Well, you can't count the 10. That's a redneck problem right there.
I'm not disagreeing with that at all.
Well, as long as you caught over 10 fish, you ain't got a problem, then, do you?
I've caught over 10 fish. Have I taken 10 fish off the line? No.
Well,
Wait, what do you mean by that?
You haven't touched them?
Did somebody else take the fish off the line for you? Because that has never happened to me.
No, it's happened once, and I was like 4.
So otherwise, the ones that
And
you
it was
didn't
a
take off the
catfish.
hook, they didn't make it to the boat, or
No, they made it to the line.
You got to grab lip.
Yeah.
I think
I grabbed the
grab
lip, but I was like 8 years old, and it was a catfish.
so how long has it been since you've caught a fish?
Well, every time I go with Adam, neither one was catching anything because he was really bad at it.
Okay, so you want to take that back and tell them the truth? Because I have caught fish every time we've gone fishing.
No, you have not.
What's that picture you got on your phone of my green tank top?
When you used a net to catch it.
What? I don't even own a net.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that the method for catching fish does not determine whether or not it is an effective fish. A fish landed is a fish caught. It does not matter.
That's true.
I mean, well, yeah, we hit a fish with an engine from the boat once. Does that count?
Now, an engine like from Oklahoma or an engine off the back? I'm confused.
Did you say from Oklahoma?
Yeah. What kind of engine are you talking about?
Yamaha.
Yamaha? Okay, I'm thinking like Choctaw.
Well, my baby, she's a Chickasaw.
I'm an Indian outlaw.
I'm really glad that you went off of that.
Well, I know that song. It's part of who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause are you an Indian outlaw?
When I was in the womb, they put that on me. I'm actually a Cherokee and Italian, but we won't get into the Italian into that. We're just talking about the Cherokee.
Whoa, you're Italian.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it.
I'm half Italian as well, but I'm more.
Oh,
American.
that's weird because I'm 100% purebred American.
I think we're both half Italian and we're more American than you are.
Well, that's weird because I'm a purebred American.
Purebred?
Yeah,
So you're an engine.
pretty much. I'm basically Chrysler.
Yamaha, I thought you said. So what kind of engine are you?
This took such a bad turn.
For you.
I think it's going well. We're getting to the bottom of this here. I want all the people who listen to this to be able to just kind of search themselves for how much American they are when they're
Do
done.
you want to be more American is the real question. Because I feel like we could go on an adventure that would create...
I don't have enough time in my life.
That is not true.
So there you go thinking again. And that's a big
He
thing
said
we
I
already
don't have
talked
time
about.
in my life.
Yeah.
So you're saying if you were to get off of school on a Tuesday and we were to just go do an American thing, like
I work
all
Tuesday.
the American thing.
I got to support a family, man.
Just thinking ahead.
See, once again, thinking too far. See, a redneck man just flies by the seat of his pants. Wranglers. That is.
Are they cutoffs?
No.
Like all the way up, like short shorts?
No.
No.
So Zach Brown Band lied to me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to talk to them about that.
Yeah.
But I think on that note, I've been roasted enough for not being enough of a redneck. Thank you, our senior redneck correspondent. Do you have any goodbyes to the people? Any redneck messages?
Not really. Just a lot of. I think we talked about today. Just don't do a lot of what Riley talked about, and do a whole lot more of what I talked about, and y'all will be a lot better out there.
And on that note, we're going to wrap it up. It's been a great talk with Adam and Riley. I'm Riley.
I'm Adam.
Say bye, Rocky.
Rocky.